Hi there, I'm so excited because in this video we are going to tell you all about Waterfalls Estate, which has so much variety in terms of the properties that they offer. You can buy a service plot, you can buy a shell house, or you can even buy a completed house. So don't go anywhere and watch this interview that I have with the developer who's telling us all about Waterfalls Estate. If we haven't met before and it's your first time to our channel, then my name is Natasha Chumia. I'm the founder and CEO of Diaspora Connect. And on this channel, I like to give you information and inspiration on the Zambian real estate market to help you in the diaspora buy property in a safe and reliable way. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking to Pele, who will tell us all about Waterfalls Estate. So don't go anywhere. Hi, Pele.
Hi there, good morning.
How are you?
How are you today? You good?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
Fine.
Great.
Good to have you here.
So tell us briefly about who you are and what you do.
So my name is Pelle. I'm a property developer here in Lusaka. I'm from Sweden originally. I came here 2010 about, and we've been essentially doing this as a family business ever since. So this is Waterfalls Estate now is our fourth project we are doing in Lusaka housing development.
So you've got that track record of doing other developments, and this is your fourth one?
We do, yes. So we sort of started out smallish, and then for every new development we've increased a bit in size, and now here we are in Waterfalls.
Great.
12 years later.
Okay, so tell us about Waterfalls Estate.
So Waterfalls Estates, it is a gated community in Waterfalls. Waterfalls is on the airport side or eastern side of Lusaka, just outside Ibex Hill. The first phase we are doing now is 65 plots. Most of them are being sold with houses as a combined kit, a turnkey house on the plot, like we see here. Some of them are also being sold as service plots, where the buyer can choose by themselves to either build by themselves or design a house that we build for them.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So you have service plots and you build, so
Yes,
you've got houses as well.
Yes, yeah.
All
And we also do, so we really do three things. We do the service plots on the one end, and we do the turnkey houses on the other end. And we also have sort of an intermediate where we sell shell houses. So the same houses as these, but not finished out on the inside. So they look completed on the outside and all is there, but we leave it to the buyer to complete the inside to get the purchase price down, really, to have it an easier.
That's great. So from what I hear you saying, I think there's something at every price point. So someone can come in and just buy a plot, or someone can buy a turnkey house, or someone can buy a completed house.
Yeah, a shell house, yeah. So either a turnkey, that's what the completed house. Yeah. So a shell house would be the same house in every respect, only that inside there's no tiles, there's no ceiling, there are no bathrooms, stuff that costs money on the inside. We leave it out to get the price down, and we leave it to the buyer to decide on that one.
Yeah, so the buyer can then come in and finish it at their own pace, their own cost.
Or they can engage us to do it as well if they want to. But what it does is that it lowers the price of the house. So it's easier to complete the transaction. So you can buy a shell house off us, you get a title deed, it's all yours. You still remain with some costs and works to be done inside for us to do or for whoever you want to do it, but the house is yours. Obviously, if you buy nowadays when we sell houses, we sell them on payment terms of maybe 18, 24 months and so on. So to not stretch that too long, to rather get a shell house is a way to sort of reduce the time limit on the completion of the transaction, of actually getting title to the house. Yeah,
no, and I love that because one of the things that you told me, which I really came to appreciate, is your level of flexibility. So let's talk about the flexibility, first of all, in terms of the design of the houses. You've got your standard house.
Yeah, yes.
But you're also quite flexible.
Yeah, we are. So we got 2, 3 and 4 bedroom houses, like standard designs, and each of them come in slightly different variations. For us, we are quite flexible.
That's brilliant.
What's important for us to do here, and why also we insist, even with the shell houses, is that we want this place to look nice, and we want all houses to sort of blend in.
Yes.
So we are a bit strict in the houses, the appearance from the outside. So, but that doesn't really change if it's slightly bigger or higher or there's a roof. It still has the same sort of appearance, but we don't want to put the house in the middle of here that looks all different, nice as it might be.
Yeah.
But it sort of disturbs the setup.
Exactly.
So that's also when we do the shell houses. Actually, I can mention the shell houses. Normally, when you discuss a shell house, that's what's called a grey face house. So that's a house that's the brick and mortar and the concrete is there and the roof is there. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
For us, we don't sell a shell house like that. We insist on finishing off the outside of the house.
Okay.
So you wouldn't really see the difference whether this house is a shell house or a finished house. And we do that because we want to make sure that the appearance on the outside blends in.
Okay.
So we want to keep it in our control, that the finishing and the design and the quality of works that is seen by others is to our standard.
Okay. That's really great. So what is the benefit to that? Because I think sometimes people overlook how important that is.
I mean, the benefit for the project, I would say, or for anyone buying into the project, what we are trying to achieve here, I guess everyone is, but one of the logics with these developments is that, I mean, obviously you buy a house like this, it's whatever size and whatever house that is, and that house is what it is. But the value of that house, both in terms of a resale value and you living in it, how much you appreciate it, or you want to rent it out, what rent you get, is determined to a large extent in what area it sits. So if you take a nice house like this and you put it just anywhere, I mean, the rental might go down by 50%.
That's correct.
The resale value of that house might go down by 50%.
Correct.
Not that the house's fault at all, it's just that it sits in a neighborhood that doesn't really, that doesn't help you.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to achieve here is to make sure that every house adds value to the neighboring houses.
Correct.
So when you come in here, you buy your house, we love you to come and plant some flowers and keep it nice or whatever, because it's good for you. But it benefits everyone. And that's why we insist on these shell houses also being built such that on the outside they still comply, they live up to that standard.
Yes.
And even when we do, if you buy a service plot here, we still don't really leave you alone. We allow you to design your house and we allow you to build your house. But we do have architectural guidelines and we keep an eye on you to make sure, with the ultimate goal being that we want your neighbor to appreciate the fact that you built that house there.
Correct.
I think that's one of the fundamental logics in these gated communities in general. That's what you want to achieve. You want to achieve that, and you want to share the costs of security and maintenance and stuff. But for property value, that's the key driver.
Yeah.
Really, that is what makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And that I would say is the strongest argument, maybe, to buy into a community like this. Because the environment is very controlled. There's someone like us who's done this for many years and who knows what works and doesn't work and can sort of steer everything towards that goal.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just buy a plot across the road here or anywhere, might be better or worse or whatever, but it will be in a much less controlled environment. Especially if you buy a plot in areas that are not fully developed, which most people do. You simply do not know if ever they're going to make a road there. You simply do not know what your neighbor is going to be up about.
Yeah.
And if it's not to your liking, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Around here, there's no legal framework that works to support that.
Yeah, unless you're in a gated community.
If you're in a gated community here, you buy into, one of the things you buy into is that legal framework.
Yeah.
Where that empowers the neighborhood to sort of regulate itself in its own best interest.
This is the best discussion and explanation we've ever had on this channel.
Is it? Yeah.
About why to buy into a gated community.
I think
thank
so.
you for going into it in so much depth and detail. Now, you mentioned something important, which I would like us to talk about, is the road network. So tell us a bit about the road network coming to the estate and what the plans are for that.
So here, this estate is Waterfalls Estate. It's along Palabana Road, which is actually one of the main roads here in the area. They haven't yet tarred that. They started tarring it, actually. They've done a lot of works on it. As far as we know, it is definitely going to get tarred in the near future.
Okay.
We thought there were many people expecting it to be tarred this year. We are not sure.
Okay. But it is on the plans.
But it is on the, yeah, it is. And for better or worse, this road, it's a very old gazetted road. It goes all the way from the checkpoint up by Great East, just a few k's up here. And then I think it's like 20, 25 k's down to past Palabana. That's why it's called Palabana Road. Yeah. And it ends at on Lepetil Road.
Right.
And there's another road that goes around up to Chongwe, and there's another road that goes down through State Lodge into New Kasama. So it's a fairly big road network.
We've talked about the roads. Maybe you can just also share with our viewers in the diaspora the other services, power, water, sewage.
Yeah, so that's all provided for. Power is here, water is here, sewage is organized for. As you see it now, we haven't yet come to paving the roads, but we're obviously going to wrap up the paving of the internal roads and everything. So it's a service that can be.
You've been doing this for a long time, and of course you've got this estate. Tell us about this area in general, particularly the developments you've seen that have happened as you come closer to the airport roundabout.
Towards town from here is Ibex Hill, and further out is Silverest.
Yes.
That's sort of how they sit on the map. Waterfalls, I believe, start somewhere where airport roundabout is, where Waterfalls Mall is. That's sort of the starting point of the area that is called Waterfalls. And as far as I know, there's no waterfall. It's just called Waterfalls. But this area in general, I would say it's one out of two well-developing residential areas, I would say, in Lusaka.
Why do you say that?
This is seen as a residential area, and it's growing, and I mean now it's more or less connecting all the way down to Chongwe. The other direction that's also doing well, I would say, is going south. So down towards Kafue and Shilanga and Lilai and those areas. So I would say that the most of the organized residential development that goes on is either on this side of town or that side of town.
Okay.
It's, for whatever reason, there seems to be much less going north and hardly anything going west.
So tell us about the amenities in the area. You mentioned Waterfalls Mall. What else is there available for someone who stays here?
Up the road here, there are two shopping malls. Garden, what is it called? Garden.
A Garden City.
Garden City and Waterfalls Mall, isn't it? Yeah. So they are, what can that be? Maybe 5 k's towards town from here.
Yes, 6.
6 maybe. Yeah. From here from us up to Great East is about 4 kilometers. Yeah. There's a clinic up here. There's a couple of schools scattered around the area. Yeah. One thing I like with this area in particular is that it appears that most land here, like ours actually, but most pieces of land here is held in big chunks. And those who have the land here, they have not been keen on selling land.
Right.
So it means that most undeveloped land here is intact, as opposed to other areas where you tend to see that land is subdivided and chopped up and sold in pieces in a sort of not so organized way. That tends to lend itself to much less organized end result. By the end of the day, when all those plots are built and developed and whatever, they tend to suffer the most from bad drainage, bad infrastructure. Right. There's no plan, really. Right. Whereas here, what tends to have happened is that people have held on to the land, and today land here is so expensive, so no one will give it for nothing. So anyone who has any land here, it's valuable enough. Yeah. So there tends to be valuable stuff coming out of it.
Yeah, and I would imagine that once the road comes in, it will go up even further.
Absolutely. I mean, because of the road. There's no secret. We love the road to be done today, of course. The day the road does get done, there's no question this area will develop very, very fast. Yeah. If you at the checkpoint go down 4 kilometers to us, you find this. If you go 4 kilometers or 8 or 12, or you go all the way to Chongwe, there's a lot of development along the roads.
Yes, yeah.
And this is among the closest place in town where you can go on a tar road and find a tranquil place like this.
Absolutely, and it's very tranquil.
Yeah, the area here is very nice. No, we like it. Some people who stay here actually don't want them to tar the road, but I think most of us do. I do.
So now, thank you. You've given us such a great background. You've painted such a good picture. But let's face it, there are other developments up the road. We know there are other developments close to you, in and around Lusaka.
Yeah.
Why should somebody come and buy into Waterfalls Estate?
The quality of works we do. And I also think that our reputation helps a lot. We've been around for a long time.
Great.
So most people who buy from us, a development or an investment in a development really only comes out as good as the development is. Buying into places like these is a very, very good idea.
Yes.
But you would want to consider not just what you are buying into, but also in some sense who you are buying into.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's come to the all-important question that people be wondering. Tell us about your price ranges, and let's start from the service plots and right up to, let's go through the grey shell houses and then right up to turnkey completed house.
So a service plot here is $15,000. And they are made such, and that's a 20 by 25 meter plot.
Okay. So how many square meters?
That's 500 square
500
meters. So that's what we stand on here. This is a plot like that.
All right, great.
So that a plot like that is $15,000. Sometimes people actually buy two, and rarely even three of them, and combine them into a bigger plot.
Fantastic.
And then the price goes up accordingly, of course. So that's for plots. For houses, where you then pay for both a plot and the construction and everything of the house, that starts at about $45,000 for the plot and the shell two-bedroom house.
Okay.
So the smallest house we do in shell finish, without the finishes inside, that's about $45,000-$50,000 with the plot and everything. You get a title deed, but you end up having to finish it off inside.
Right.
Fully finished four-bedroom house, which is the biggest we have on our standard designs, fully finished with all the finishes inside out and plots and everything, is about $100,000.
Okay.
So it starts at 15 for a plot and ends at about 100 for a turnkey four-bedroom house.
All right.
And then obviously, I mean, most people who, but quite many of those who buy service plots, they buy them with the intention of probably building an even bigger house, which we can build for them or someone else can build for them, however they prefer. But that then tends to be an even bigger ticket item in the long run. So I would argue that the most, in as much as a plot obviously is much less costly than a house, your most affordable way of getting a house is to buy a house from us. It'll typically be a less costly project than to first buy one or two plots and then design your own house. Right. Of course, depending a bit on how you build, who's building your house and to what standard and so, but we wouldn't accept anything but good standards. So if you want to build a big house, it will cost you more money. And it is more expensive to build a house, a one-off design, compared to these houses that are standardized. So here you get quite a lot of house for your money.
Yes.
If you want this size of house there, but changes left, right, center, it will be the same size house, but slightly more expensive because it's all the tweaks that you do for your preference.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
all right, guys, so you've heard the price range. It starts at $15,000, and for a two-bedroomed house, you're looking at about $45,000 to $50,000. And there is a range for the shell, and there is a range that goes all the way up to $100,000. So if you want more information on the different housing products that they have and the service plots, then just click the link below this video and you'll be able to get a lot more information on Waterfalls Estate. And remember, there are also those flexible payment plans. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I found it so exciting because, of course, I love to learn about a new area and a new development, and this is one that is being so well done. I hope you also got a lot from the discussion that I had with Pele. And like I said, if you're interested in getting more information or even buying a plot or a house here in Waterfalls Estate, then all you need to do is click the link that you're going to see below this video. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification button so you don't miss any of our exciting videos. And also, please share this video with one other Zambian in your community who you know is interested in buying property back home. And connect with us on social media. We love chatting with you guys there. But otherwise, bye for now.